Hello everyone, Emily is here. Together we also got Emily's story quest. Without further ado, let's do her story quest and let's see what's up. So first thing first, let's read Pomum chapter. Floral depth, blood dew. I don't like the blood part. Why does it sound so ominous? It starts from Port Ormus. Who is that? It's Tainari! Hello there. What up,
I
Tainari?
thought I told him to spray it with water to retain moisture before applying the film.
Uh, spray what type of water?
You can't treat a glaze lily like a cactus. If Sanjay does this again, the loss will have to come out of his food expenses.
Ooh. Well, yeah, different flower, different treatment.
I'll go talk to him.
You will?
At this rate, he won't even be able to afford eating cacti for much longer.
I actually never eat cactus. Is it good? Hello there, it's been a while.
Oh, it's you two. It's been a while.
I know, right?
What brings you to Port Ormus?
I feel like every story quest, if it got some other like old character, not just story quest actually, any quest, it's gonna be, it's been a while.
We didn't have anything to do, and this place looked pretty lively, so we decided to stop by. But, what's with all the flowers around here?
Well, are you guys selling flower here?
Well, Port Ormus is currently organizing a flower exhibition featuring flowers and plants from all over Tevat, so I came to help out.
Ah, that's crazy.
The exhibition includes flowers from every corner of the world, each with their own unique properties and needs. With that in mind, the curator commissioned a flower pot from xRicWarx capable of retaining heat and moisture.
That's nice.
Even so, an expert is still required to develop tailored transportation and care plans for each type of flower.
And that's where you take place. Alright, I see. That's one way to promote yourself.
Oh, and that expert is you, right?
Right?
Not this time, no.
Wait, what?
I'm just here to help out. The expert in charge is someone else.
Who is this someone else?
Mr. Tainari! Sanjay! He confused the poisonous bulbs with garlic shoots, and he ate them!
What? It shouldn't be that bad, right?
Never mind. Forget about what I said about the food expenses.
He's not even gonna eat at all.
Apologies, Traveler, Paimon. Looks like I've got something to take care of. I'll be back in just a moment.
Why is there so careless person? I'm so confused about that NPC. And one more thing is, why did he eat that exactly?
Tainari's busy no matter where he is, huh?
I mean, and not like you. Too many people are careless about what they eat. Too many people don't do as they are told.
Yeah, seems like it. Some people just need supervision.
No, somebody need a punishment.
Well, looks like Tainari might be busy for a while. Let's take a look around the port in the meantime.
What are you looking at? That's the intro for the Pomum De Ambra chapter. Okay. So, Paimon, what are we looking at? I shall probably talk to Tainari first.
Wow, look at these flowers! They smell so...
Like flower. Paimon, why did you... Oh my god, now I'm wet. I got liquid all over my body from you. Are you allergic? Wait, something's wrong. Are you feeling okay?
Paimon's... fine. She's just got
A little? COVID warning! Stand afar, Paimon, don't get close.
Rainbow roses, glaze lilies, and Cecilia's? No wonder.
Wait, those together can make you...
It's getting worse. Why?
Probably that's why you don't eat your food last time. You- Should we go find Tainari?
But, I was fine just a moment ago.
You,
She didn't even eat anything weird.
yesterday night you eat that white thing that come from... Nope, don't say that.
A moment of your time, you two? If it's not too much trouble, perhaps you could try this incense.
Yeah, Paimon, go. Try a random person's incense. I mean, they got a vision. They should be a good person, right? Right? No?
Incense? Oh, the scent is so nice.
Oh! Yeah, you can talk normally now. Dang. How about all of the thing that in your nose?
Whoa, that was fast. Paimon doesn't have to
Must have been the incense. Thank you.
Think nothing of it. From your attire, I imagine you two aren't from Sumeru either.
Really? Crazy.
Seeing as we're both travelers from abroad, it's only right that we help each other out should the occasion arise.
Wait, you are not from Sumeru?
Oh, so you're here for the flower exhibition too?
I suppose that's accurate. Ah, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Emilie, a perfumer from Fontaine.
Oh, well, how come we never meet you?
Paimon is Paimon. Thank you so much for your help just now. Oh, and this is...
The Traveler, right? I've heard a lot about you from the Steambird. It's nice to finally put a face to the name.
Okay, I've heard a lot about you as well. We have? I don't remember at all. Although I didn't expect to run into you in Sumeru. Also, by the way, just to put out there, yes, I know she is from Fontaine.
What happened back there? Why did Paimon start sneezing all of a sudden?
You're allergic, maybe?
Have you ever heard of hay fever?
I think so, but I don't know much. What is it?
To put it simply, when inhaled, certain pollens can trigger abnormal physical reactions.
But Paimon has
So
seen
allergic.
these kinds of flowers before and nothing weird happened then.
Well, we're all different. The factors that can trigger a reaction to certain stimuli vary by person. In isolation, the effects of certain pollens may seem minimal, but inhaling various types at once can trigger a more overt reaction.
I see what you did there. Overreaction. Gotcha. No.
But there's no need to worry. Pollen allergies can be effectively mitigated with the use of medication.
Oh, well, that's good.
Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Is everything all right?
Paimon got COVID a moment ago.
I left in such a hurry, I forgot to warn you about all the pollen in the air.
Yeah, Paimon was not having a good time, let me tell you that. But Emily helped us out, so we're good.
Emily?
Yes.
Ah, what a coincidence. Looks like my worry was misplaced then. The Traveler and Paimon are in good hands.
Ah, you guys know each other. Good.
It was nothing really. We happened to run into each other shortly after my arrival, and I offered them a bit of help, that's all.
I guess that makes sense they know each other because one is flower and you make perfume from flower.
I'm more curious as to why you thought the Traveler and Paimon were in danger. Allergies are highly unpredictable. If you were concerned the pollen might trigger a reaction, that must mean something similar has happened in the past.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Remember the first time we met? You fainted after inhaling Spirit Borneal.
Yeah, I do remember. AKA, by the way, this is the first story when you arrive on Sumeru, I think. Was it? Or was it Tainari's story? I forgot. Oh, this actually look cool though on the other hand. I like this. That was an allergic reaction? I thought that is like brainwashing, but Paimon was the victim this time.
The spirit borneal didn't affect Paimon at all, and now she's the one suffering. It makes no sense.
It makes sense. It's called taking turn.
It's not really something you can make sense out of, Paimon. There are all kinds of allergies out there, caused by a variety of different factors. Some people are even allergic to almonds. It's not something you can generalize.
Yep, somebody also allergic to nuts. My nuts. No.
Exactly. I even encountered a case in Fontaine where someone had an allergic reaction to soba noodles their family brought back from Inazuma.
Bruh, that sounds very sad. The parents bring homes like, man, for my kid, I hope they are happy and enjoy this, and then they're allergic.
Whoa. Good thing Paimon isn't allergic to anything delicious.
Really? Are you a doctor, Emily?
Hmm.
Well, you're a perfumer.
In a manner of speaking, although you could say the patients I deal with are rather unusual.
Oh, for some reason I heard pen, and then these, I thought I heard that, or I read that.
In addition to medicine, Emily is also very knowledgeable about botany. She's taught me a lot about the native flora around Fontaine.
Oh.
And that's where my expertise ends, I'm afraid. When it comes to breadth of knowledge, Tainari certainly comes out on top.
How about Bread of the Wild?
A flower expert?
No? Okay.
Oh, Paimon's got it! You must be the expert Tainari mentioned, the one in charge of the exhibition!
Wrong again, I'm afraid.
Thank God I didn't say anything. I did say it last time, but not in front of Tainari.
Well, I did come for the exhibition, but only to inquire about the Auguste variety.
A goose?
I'm not involved in any official capacity.
What type of goose?
Oh, Paimon was sure she got it right this time.
What is that?
It's a kind of flower that was once popular in Fontaine. The perfume made from it also bears the same name, Auguste.
It sounds like you're saying a goose, as in that long-necked duck.
Auguste, huh? That's not a name you hear often nowadays.
Yeah, a goose.
In an ancient language, the word is said to mean sacred or noble. It's sometimes used as a name for people as well.
If you ask that to, the current people, they're gonna say the duck.
Ah, that reminds me. Are you familiar with a historical event in Fontaine known as Perfume Mania?
Nope. Why would I know?
Perfume Mania was an event that occurred in Fontaine nearly 20 years ago.
So how would I know that?
It all started when several merchants released their own lines of high-end, expensive perfumes, marketing them as must-have luxury products, the very symbol of elegance itself. No one anticipated the absolute frenzy this would create on the market, causing the price of perfumes to skyrocket. The demand was twofold. What some saw as a status symbol, most saw as a money-making opportunity. You could take advantage of the soaring price by hoarding them and reselling at even higher margins. The value of these products became so inflated, regular bottles of perfume were even going for hundreds of thousands of mora. This resulted in countless disputes and scams. But at the end of the day, perfume is just perfume. The market value greatly exceeded the intrinsic worth of the product, creating an economic bubble that was never going to last. Luckily, the Palais Mermonia recognized the danger and intervened before the craze could truly spread. Many profiteers and scammers were thrown in jail as a result.
Then they got a new life, a better life, I feel like.
In the end, only a few wealthy families were affected when the bubble popped.
That's good. It really could have been a lot worse.
What does all this have to do with that Auguste you mentioned earlier?
Actually, that's a good question.
Well, during the craze, the most popular perfume was none other than Auguste. The demand far exceeded the supply, to the point where it once sold for 10 million mora a bottle.
Yep, the perfume was none other than a goose. It's not really a perfume, it's a duck.
10 million?
Paimon?
And what about now?
Paimon, I got like 40 million inside my backpack. Calm down.
After the mania ended, most perfumes returned to a normal price. Auguste was the only exception. Its namesake, the flower used to create it, went extinct. As a result, no new bottles of Auguste have been made, and the value of the perfume remains exceedingly high.
The flower went extinct.
Indeed. The Auguste flower was not a natural variety, you see. It was specially cultivated for use in perfume making. When the bubble popped, all the flower beds used for its cultivation were destroyed in a fire. The variety has never been seen since.
But didn't you say you came to the exhibition to look for it?
Ah, yes. I came to investigate a certain rumor that the Auguste flower has reappeared in Sumeru. It's causing quite the stir in the Fontaine perfume market.
Gotcha.
Traveler, we should help Emily look for it.
You are just curious about a goose. It's just a rumor, Paimon. There's no way it's that easy to find.
I have to agree. Emily wrote me to ask if I could look into the rumor, but the forest rangers haven't received any reports of new plant species recently.
Oh yeah, I'm about to say that as well. Tainari is a forest ranger, and Tainari got all of these people to help, like patrol around the forest and stuff like that to find stuff. Yeah, tally speaking, Tainari should be the one that found it. Maybe it's spawned inside cave spawn.
Even if I can locate the flower, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed, Paimon. I don't have any grand mora making endeavors planned.
Paimon?
Divine, noble, one of a kind. All beautiful sentiments to be sure, but to me, they overshadow the very essence of the product. When it comes to perfume, I want people to forget the price and the prestige and focus on the beauty of the fragrance itself.
That's nice.
Wow, so noble.
Is it?
Of course, there's also a more practical reason.
Oh,
In recent years, low-grade counterfeit versions of Auguste have been popping up on the Fontaine perfume market.
that makes sense. I thought like, oh, so noble. Of course I'm noble. What are you talking about? I thought she's about to say that. But she's talking about something else.
Every so often, someone will claim to have recreated the unique scent of Auguste, and the rumor mill will start comparing the counterfeits to my own work.
Ah, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, people tend to clickbait, so you know.
Okay, that's more like the reason Paimon had in mind.
Ever since that rumor started, 3 new perfumes claiming to be made from the Auguste flower have appeared on the market. If I can dispel the fanaticism surrounding Auguste, even just by proving the rumor to be false, Fontaine's perfume market can finally start to get back to normal. Then I'll be free from all the stories and added meaning and just focus on making what I like.
Or you can just ignore it currently and keep making what you like.
That makes sense.
By the way, even if it's not for Amora, we could still help you out.
Oh, I would of course be grateful for your help, but I wouldn't want to trouble you.
That's what you think, but not what you say. Actually, that's what you say, but not what you think.
Well, you said it yourself. We're both travelers from abroad, so it's only right that we help each other out.
Holy Paimon, where did you learn those smooth talk?
I suppose you're right. Then you have my thanks.
Based on the information I have so far, it's unclear if the rumor is true. Mr. Edgar also thinks it's too early to say. But you could always go talk to him. He was there all those years ago, after all. Maybe he'll know something.
Me.
Huh, I was just about to pay him a visit at the hotel.
Edgar? Who's that?
Let's... If she's one to pay a visit, just go. Alright? We don't need to ask who, Paimon.
The person you've been trying to
my
guess
God.
this whole time. The flower expert in charge of the exhibition. He's also the most respected and experienced perfumer in the area.
Fun fact, we can just walk with Emilie to there while they're talking.
Back when he was still working in Fontaine, Auguste was his creation.
Oh my god, he created Auguste?
I should also mention, he was my teacher, the one who taught me the basics of perfumery when I apprenticed in Sumeru.
Your teacher is Auguste? Wait, no. Oh, Edgar is your teacher. My bad. My bad.
So this guy was a famous perfumer in Fontaine, but then he came to Sumeru to teach people from Fontaine? It sounds confusing.
Well...
It's a long story. If you're interested, we can talk more about it when we see him.
Yep.
He should be staying near the hotel.
We should talk more about Auguste.
I need to stay back and keep an eye on things here at the port. If something happens, don't hesitate to find me.
Why will I hesitate to find you? Talk to Edgar, top knot floral depth. Alright. Where is she? Or him?
Oh, look at all the flowers!
Oh, look at all of those frames that just fall down.
Apparently, the exhibitor paid a large sum to rent out the hotel and surrounding buildings. They're being used as temporary storage facilities and lodging for exhibition personnel.
That seems a bit excessive.
Yeah, what if guests come early? They won't have anywhere to stay. Also, renting out this big of a hotel, how are they gonna make that Mora back?
Feel like they might have Mora to burn. Is that a good thing? Probably not. Is the gray hair your
It's
bro?
been so long. I almost didn't recognize you, Edgar.
It is the gray hair.
Well, you and your brother haven't changed a bit.
Oh, yeah, look, all this catching up is nice and all, but let's get down to business. We need to talk about Kyria. Is he?
Hold on, we have guests.
It's nice to see you again, Master.
Gotcha. So they're the one that doing all of those stuff.
Emily? Is that you? Oh, it's been years. Look at you. You're all grown up.
Oh my god, I wanna see small Emilie. Do I?
I've heard you've become quite the famous perfumer in Fontaine. It would seem the student has surpassed the master.
Oh, well, it's all thanks to your mentorship.
Ah, hardly. I taught you the basics. Hearing you call me master, well, I'm not sure I'm deserving of that title.
It's alright, old man. You don't deserve. Nope. I'm so sorry. I'm being a little bit weird.
I've taught many students here in Sumeru over the years, but I've yet to see one turn out quite as accomplished as you. You're the only one who can take credit for that success. And who are these two?
You don't know
I
me?
don't recall you mentioning them in your letter.
How dare you? You don't know me?
Ah, they're my new friends, the Traveler and Paimon.
We're friends already? Not gonna lie, whenever I talk to people, I do feel like I friend them immediately, but at the same time, they don't think I'm a friend, so... Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Edgar.
Emily's friend.
Not really.
Well then, the pleasure is all mine.
Yeah, I hope not.
And these two gentlemen? Are they friends of yours, Master?
Holy, I'm about to slap you.
Of course. We're perfume merchants from Fontaine.
That does not sound convincing.
I'm Ood, and this here is my younger brother, Blaze. Edgar and the two of us are old friends. Isn't that right, gentlemen?
Together, you guys are ooh Blaze. What the heck? Why are you guys so nervous?
Yes.
Merchant brothers?
You must be here to look for the Auguste flower then.
Paimon, shut up.
Huh?
Well, what respectable perfume merchant hasn't heard of Auguste? Anyone in the business would be interested in the rumors.
Paimon, why couldn't you shut up?
I'm guessing you're here for the same reason, Emily. We were just about to get into it, so you three might as well join in.
That's good.
I commissioned a few eremites to do some scouting for me. They searched all over Sumeru, but there were no sightings of the Auguste flower.
Why is the eremites here? Okay.
That being said,
It felt
there
weird.
are people in Port Ormos who claim to have smelled a unique fragrance on the streets. Definitely floral, but still distinct.
I'm guessing that Musly Bro is the one that's doing those perfume stuff.
Some of them were merchants who lived in Fontaine 20 years ago. According to them, the fragrance smelled exactly like the Auguste they remember from back then.
So is it Auguste or Auguste?
A one-of-a-kind, divine, and noble scent.
Whatever that's supposed to mean.
Maybe someone around here just happens to have a bottle of Auguste from back then.
Why did it become Auguste?
No, I don't think so. I doubt that's the case. Even if someone had a bottle that was never opened, the fragrance of the perfume would have changed over time. Very few perfumes can go decades without a change in scent.
Wait, really? I should probably try that.
Auguste is even more prone to that kind of shift. Only a few bottles still exist in Fontaine, and their scent would have completely degraded by now. Although, could there be a flower out there with a similar fragrance? Or in accord with the same base notes?
Impossible. If Auguste were that easy to replicate, it would never have sold for such a high price all those years ago. The Auguste flower is back. It has to be.
Alright, brother.
Technically speaking, the scent wouldn't be impossible to imitate.
Also, this person is literally trying to push it like to be real.
Well, let's table that question for now. Edgar, did any of those people mention where the scent was coming from?
No. By the time they realized they had smelled something, the scent was already gone. If I hadn't asked about it, they probably wouldn't have given the experience a second thought. Compared to things we see and hear, smells can be much easier to overlook.
That's a good one.
It almost sounds like someone wearing the Auguste fragrance passed them on the street.
That's a good thing to say. But yeah, your hair or your nose got a hair, so yeah, it's kind of hard to breathe.
Wait, are you saying...
Kinda.
Just
What am I
thinking
saying?
out loud. Don't pay me any mind.
Want to pay you any mind?
We don't have much to go off of right now, but we can't rule out that possibility. I'll send some more people to investigate. You all traveled so far to be here. Why don't you rest in the hotel for a bit? Ood, Blaze, this is the key to your room.
Ooh, you've got the keys to the rooms? Do we get free lodging too?
I sadly, since Emily did not mention us, I think no.
My apologies. All the rooms in the hotel are accounted for, I'm afraid. Most are being used for storage ahead of the exhibition, you see. I managed to tidy up one of the rooms for these two at the last minute, but by the time Emilie wrote to me, there was no more space left for her to stay.
Got it, so Emily gonna stay in my home. What?
Oh, and we just showed up out of the blue. Guess that means there's definitely no space for us.
We know Nahida. I can sleep with... that's also wrong. I can go and ask Nahida.
I should have been more considerate. Here I am with an entire hotel at my disposal and no place to offer you to stay, even after you made the trip all the way to Sumeru.
What? Don't... Yeah, pay no mind. We can just sleep on the bed. You just bring the bed out.
Don't worry, Master.
I got my
I
pot.
could sleep on the boat tonight. Or
what?
I could even camp in the wild. It would give me the opportunity to collect some plant specimens while I'm here in Sumeru.
Sleeping in a boat is not safe. Camping is also not safe, but it's kind of better. How about you just sleep in my Serenity pod? That's easier. Also, I'm familiar with the Sumeru wilderness, so I'll come with.
Ah, even better. Although, would it be possible for me to leave some of my luggage here? It would be rather cumbersome to take it camping. It shouldn't take up too much space.
Well, about that.
About what? What happened? Seems like Edgar and the other don't want anyone to stay near the hotel. But they're also trying to not to arouse suspicion. I'm not just imagining thing, am I? Probably not. Gotcha, so they do have space. They just don't want us to be inside because they are doing something about Auguste.
Of course, no trouble at all. My brother and I will keep an eye on them for you, as long as you don't mind, mademoiselle.
All right then. Oud, why don't you take Emilie inside and find a suitable place for her luggage? I'll prepare some refreshments and join you in a bit.
It's definitely not just us. Something is definitely going on. Sir, tell me what's going on.
I'm sorry I couldn't offer you a room.
You got your own house here.
It's all right, Master. I know it was sudden.
I'll be sure to make it up to you with a nice cup of tea.
You know, a nice cup of tea couldn't help somebody that did not sleep for a long time. This is kinda our first time entering the hotel, I feel like. Before this, we never able to enter. Wow, that's a lot of flower.
Whoa, the smell of flowers is so strong. Didn't Edgar say he tidied up around here? There's still so many flowers. Hyman took a peek through the window earlier and his house was packed with flowers. Looks like this exhibition is gonna be huge.
Do all of the perfumes have houses filled with flowers?
No, that's a florist thing.
Ah, I see.
We work closely with the essential oils of various plants. But to maintain a sharp sense of smell, most perfumers prefer to keep their homes free of strong odors.
Oh, guess there's just too much to store for the exhibition then.
Also, what is behind that door?
Oh, this room seems to be a connected suite, and my brother will be staying on the other side of the suite.
That sounds like a lie.
Blaze, while you're out, why don't you bring our luggage over as well?
Why? What?
Blaze!
Yes, of course.
Why? What happened?
All right then, where can we find your luggage, mademoiselle? Blaze will go fetch it for you.
It's still at the port. In addition to some daily necessities, there's also a case of amber wine that I brought back from Fontaine. Could I trouble you to bring that back as well? It would be the perfect way to repay you for your hospitality.
How generous. I should thank you on my brother's behalf. You've stumbled upon his weakness. He's aloof about most things, but alcohol is his one true love.
Bro, this person have been the most annoying one this whole time.
Is that so?
Amber wine. Now that's a Fontaine specialty I've never heard of before.
Mr. Oud, Mr. Blaze, thanks for...
Hey! What are you doing?
You know, Edgar, you should probably do that inside your bedroom, not outside in public.
That's Master's voice.
I mean, oh no, something happened. Quick, let's go and see what happened. Anyway. No, it will be... Oh. It would be better if you tip me out rather than making me go out. Master is still alive, maybe? Rush out of the hotel to take unique fragrance.
Edgar!
What is that? Oh, the perfume.
Master!
Hey, Edgar. Are you all right? Can you hear me?
Bro is still breathing. Calm down.
Who did this?
Somebody.
Kyria. Auguste.
That is the person's full name. Good night.
Kyria.
Hey, Edgar? Edgar!
No, don't shake him. He's injured. Just leave him to me. You two can...
We'll investigate the scene. We'll try to see where the culprit went.
Oh, thank you.
I feel I should investigate rather than find a culprit, but... Matt, are you okay? Slap left.
Skin is flushed. Pupils are dilated. But he's still breathing.
Ah, man. I mean, thank God. I'm gonna say, ah, man, you're still breathing? Crazy. Investigate the scene.
I checked. It doesn't look like anyone passed through here.
Oh, but that's impossible. It's not like that kid can just grow some wings and fly away.
You don't need a wing to fly, you can see Paimon. That kid?
Oh, the culprit, I mean. It's not like the culprit could have just disappeared into thin air.
Paimon can. Okay, something is sus with you guys. Good to know. The bottle.
That strange smell around here. Is it coming from this bottle?
That bottle looks fancy. Only a small amount of liquid is left inside. Strange residue can be seen on both mouth and side of the vessel. Seems like someone forcibly poured out whatever was inside the bottle. Thank God, at least it seems like your master did not drink that bottle. Oh my god, I'm seeing something. I have a feeling the liquid in this bottle is...
Oh, really? You think so?
Yeah, I think it's a water. Crazy, right? Flower beds.
Do you think whoever did this was hiding in the flowers before they attacked Edgar?
I have no idea. There are no footprints in the flower beds or nor anybody's inside. Doesn't look like any of the branch or leaf have been disturbed. Probably not. Unless the culprit was your size, that will be pretty difficult. Will be.
True.
Or maybe they climbed the trees not really that high. Maybe they just stuck on top of the tree.
Well, we looked all over, but the only clue we found was that bottle.
And only
The
that
most
bottle.
important thing we can do now is focus our efforts on treating Master. Can you help me move him inside?
Absolutely not. We got two men over there. Why don't they do that? Why do I do this? You and Emily carefully move Edgar. So what do that men? Those are not a man. Those are a coward. A child.
So, how's he doing?
When I administered emergency treatment, I discovered a residue in his nose and mouth. Master was most likely forced to ingest a certain liquid.
Yes, I already know that.
He's still unconscious, and inducing vomiting could obstruct his airways. We'll have to look into other clues for now.
Well, we found this bottle. Do you know what is it?
Ah, yes. The scent is the same, but the chemical composition is still unclear. We'll have to do further tests to determine if it's the same liquid and how toxic it is to the human body. But first, I do believe there are two people who could shed some light on the situation. Mr. Sylvain, Mr. Lucien.
Ooh, you know their real name.
Wait, you know...
Hey! Were you talking to us, mademoiselle? I'm afraid we've never heard of those names before.
You know, you should just not react at all.
Before arriving in Sumeru, I asked a friend from the Special Patrol to look into the creators of Auguste. There were 4 people in total. The perfumer, Edgar, the one thrust into the limelight, and 3 others.
Which is both of you.
A researcher from Sumeru responsible for cultivating the Auguste flower, and 2 merchant brothers responsible for promoting the product on the market. The 2 brothers capitalized on the mythos surrounding Auguste. Their actions lured in numerous speculators and profiteers, inflating the price of Auguste even further. In the end, they were sent to the Fortress of Meripede for falsifying their accounts and destabilizing the market. If you do the math, they should be out of prison by now.
And they did not learn about... Okay, they didn't learn any lesson?
And what does that have to do with us? There are countless merchant families in Fontaine. You gonna accuse them of being criminals too?
Every time your brother called you Blaze, it took you several seconds to respond. But when I called you Lucien just now, the name registered immediately.
No, but I heard you're dumb.
I...
Dumb. You are dumb.
Ah, Miss Emily, out of respect for your position as a famous perfumer in Fontaine, I'm inclined to believe that was simply a poor attempt at humor.
What part of that is humor?
You have a bright future ahead of you. You wouldn't want to develop a reputation as someone who throws around false accusations, especially among merchant circles.
Oh, interesting. It seems like you know something bad happened to you in the past.
You claim to be regular perfume merchants, and yet, when I brought up amber wine, you took it to be alcohol.
I know, right? That's the part. Because the wine, probably.
What?
What? Just as I thought. I never heard of that.
Amber wine is a perfume I created several years ago. It wasn't particularly renowned, but I'm certain any respectable perfume merchant in Fontaine would know of it.
But you're not.
Unless, until recently, they were living somewhere completely cut off from the perfume world. Somewhere like The Fortress of Meripede, perhaps?
Emily, you little.
Don't even think about it. I got me sword ready to stabby stab. Told you. Oh, I look very cool protecting a young lady here. I am younger.
Don't misunderstand, Mr. Sylvain. I don't bring this up to criticize you. No matter what happened all those years ago, the court has already passed its judgment.
How the heck did we become escort or bodyguard?
But Master's life is in danger. We need to learn whatever we can about the person who has done this. If Master's attack had something to do with Auguste, I would imagine the two of you might also be in danger. So I'd like to trouble you for some information, if I may. Tell me about Kyria.
Just say. It's not that hard.
Fine, as you wish.
Why is it so hard?
Sylvain,
Lucian, if this will help us find Kyria, then it will be all worth it. Besides, we've already told most of the stuff to the Maison Orderly anyway.
Who is Mason Orderly?
You were right, Miss Emily. There were 4 of us at the beginning. Myself, Lucian, Edgar, and a researcher from Sumeru in charge of flower cultivation, Vijava. Sometime down the road, the Marechaussee Phantom came knocking, saddled us with a list of accusations, and started looking into our books. Oh, they did their meddling, and my brother Edgar and I were forced to serve time in the fortress as a result.
Sounds like he's still upset about that. Wait, then how did Edgar end up in Sumeru?
Master was convicted as an accomplice, so he only had to serve a few years. He decided to move to Sumeru so that he could put those events behind him.
Ah, but then these two bros just come here and cause him problem.
Still, Master was depressed for a long time after that. He stopped making new perfumes and focused on introducing students to the craft instead. That's how I met him. My parents had to relocate to Sumeru for work when I was a child, so I had the chance to study under him for a little while. But we can talk about that some other time. I want to hear more about this researcher, Vijava.
Like us, Vijava was also staring down an investigation from the Marechaussee Phantom. But before the Phantom showed up at her door, she set all the flower beds on fire, along with much of the mora we managed to earn. All the Auguste flowers, everything we worked to create, was reduced to nothing but a pile of ash.
Why do you... With a pile of ash. Why do you have to say it like that? Hello? Also, one more thing is, I didn't know Mora can be burned. Can you burn gold? I mean, you need it to be super hot.
But destroying all that evidence, wouldn't that make things worse for her?
It didn't matter at that point, because she died in the fire as well.
What?
What? What happened?
sounds like you did an investigation of your own. Why even ask us if you knew all of this already?
But by the way, so far, Kira's name still hasn't come up, so who is that?
The name wasn't mentioned in any of the files I reviewed either. But you two seem quite familiar with him.
I'm about to say, why are you looking at me? I have no idea who's that. Okay, what are you guys thinking?
Kyria was Vijava's younger brother.
Okay, why did that take so long?
He was just a clueless kid back then. Somewhere in his teens, I think. He helped his sister with her work sometimes, but that was pretty much it. He didn't have any idea what we were doing.
Also, nobody noticed that there's no music. Maybe somebody already noticed, but oh my god, it's just empty.
Vijava kept him close most of the time. The 3 of us were probably the only ones who even knew she had a brother. After our operation was compromised, he disappeared. There were no signs of him until recently, when people started saying the Auguste flower had reappeared in Sumeru.
So, you think Kyria took something with him back then? Something that allowed him to reproduce the Auguste flower?
Vijava doted on the kid like you wouldn't believe. She even told us to give her cut to her brother if anything happened to her. If she left something behind before she died, believe me, Kyria's the one that has it.
And judging by the liquid in that bottle, the Auguste flower wasn't the only thing he reproduced. He managed to replicate the perfume itself.
Again, why do you have to say stuff like that?
So the liquid Edgar was forced to ingest really was Auguste. Wait, does that mean Auguste is poison?
Poison? No, no. Of course not. No perfume is meant to be ingested. Even small amounts can be dangerous, let alone ingesting a whole bottle at once.
Why do you sound like it's you don't want to admit it is a poison?
If Auguste could be considered a poison, we wouldn't have even sold half a bottle back then. Edgar fell unconscious because Kyria forced him to drink perfume. It just happened to be Auguste.
Sure, buddy, sure. How about have you tried to eat a goose before? Also, I love how they add all this potion bottle from the previous event. Strange. Sylvain seems nervous all of a sudden. But hey, why did Kyria attack Edgar?
He probably thought we had something to do with his sister's death. But to tell you the truth, I have no idea why she did all that. We're not looking for Kyria because we have it out for him. We just wanted to see how he was doing. And, if possible, work together to bring back Auguste. We only went to prison for a bit of fraud and market manipulation. It had nothing to do with the product itself.
Why do you have to bring that out?
As long as we keep things honest this time around, bringing the product back to market would almost be like honoring his sister's memory.
Sure, brother, sure.
So that's why you never mentioned Kyria during your interrogation?
Yes, exactly. We were just looking out for the kid.
Does not sound like you are.
Anyway, that's all we know. If you're looking for information on what's in Auguste, or what to do if you ingest it, there are only two people to ask. Edgar or Kyria himself.
How about Tainari?
Well, at least we're able to say for certain that the substance Edgar ingested was in fact Auguste. That gives us a direction for further testing. Well then, I'd say that was a very enlightening discussion.
It is?
Well, glad to hear it. Lucian, let's head back to the room and rest a bit. With everything that's happened, there are things that need reconsidering.
I love how. Why do you have to say stuff like that? Oh my god, it sounds so weird.
Yes, of course.
So rather than rest, I feel like you guys are about to do something else. Yep, they're still hiding something. So much for honest.
You think so too? That does seem to be the case. Pity we don't have more evidence. But based on Sylvain's tone of voice just now, I suspect further questioning will only result in more made-up answers.
I know, right?
The way you exposed them like that, just based on a hunch, that was genius!
But are you really just a perfumer who look after people in your spare time?
Oh, right! Earlier you said you were only sort of a doctor, and that your patients were unusual.
Oh yes, that's because most of the patients I encounter are already dead.
Ah,
So you're a forensic doctor?
necromancer?
Close. I'm actually a forensic cleaner. Once the forensic team and the Marechaussee Phantom are done collecting evidence from the scene, I'm in charge of clearing away the final traces my patients leave on the world. In fact, with just a small alteration to the formula, the same tincture used as the base of perfume can also be made into a cleaning agent.
Okay.
Basically, there are two sides to forensics. Those who collect evidence to expose the truth, and those who clean up the smells, bloodstains, and other substances left behind at the scene.
Oh, that's what you meant.
I've learned a lot in my line of work, and I've witnessed a lot of death. But this time, we may still save the patient. Actually, Traveler, could I trouble you to report back to Tainari and the officers at Port Ormos? We should update them on the situation.
Will do, straight away.
I'll stay here and continue to look after Master.
Gotcha.
Now that we have a sample of Auguste, I'm hoping further analysis won't be too difficult.
Are we certain that's 100% it's a goose? And also one more thing is, everything that she said, I am worried now. Alright, there's only a small amount of liquid left in the bottle. It's a goose.
Master looks a lot older than when I last saw him. I just hope he can hold on.
Yep, just hold on. But brother, you're not brother. If we met Naida, she'll probably help by a lot. Naida probably know more.
Whoa, why the rush? Did something happen?
Yes, a goose happened. Yeah, that duckling.
What?
What?
Edgar was attacked.
Yeah, kinda ish.
He's the most famous perfumer in the region. Someone who's helped countless people around Port Ormos. How could this happen?
I thought he was about to say he is most famous. How come he got attacked? Well, because he's famous.
Sheriff, have you received any reports of a suspicious individual fleeing through the bazaar?
Is your name Sheriff or are you a sheriff?
No, but
are a
we've got
sheriff.
eyes all over the area. I'm sure someone's seen Kyria. I'll start gathering my forces. We won't let him get away.
Yeah, we'll put a bullet on the noggins. What happened?
What about you, Tainari? Do you have a plan?
Tainari got a plenty amount of plan behind him. Not that plan.
I'm sure the sheriff can handle things over at the scene, and I doubt Emilie needs my help looking after Mr. Edgar.
So we should settle the problem with our own plan. No, I should stop.
But she said she's not a real doctor.
Yep, she is something else.
Then she was far too modest. She may not be a doctor by trade, but she has a deeper understanding of human anatomy and pharmacology than most scholars from the Amorta Darshan.
How did she learn about deeper understanding of human anatomy?
Not to mention the fact that Mr. Edgar's condition is related to perfume. Emilie is certainly in the best position to help him. As for me, I'll head to the academia and see what I can learn about Vijava and Kyria.
Oh, that's right. Vijava was supposed to be a scholar from Sumeru. Do you recognize the name?
From Emilie's letter, certainly, but that was the first time I'd heard of it. The academia produces a lot of scholars, and there are plenty of graduates who choose to pursue a career outside their darshan. I didn't have time to look into it earlier, but now it seems like Vijava's past could be critical to getting to the bottom of what happened to Mr. Edgar. I have friends in Sumeru City that can help me investigate. With any luck, we'll have news to share by tomorrow. I'll leave you and Emilie to watch over things here in Port Ormos.
Sure, what could possibly go wrong? I love how our main character don't really prioritize talking to the Archon. I'm so surprised that our main character never mentioned let's ask Nahida what happened, or just any Archon whenever we are on a certain region. I wonder if we forgot or we just don't really want to
It's been a day.
trouble them.
Wonder if Tainari's discovered anything.
Tainari have gone missing.
Things weren't looking good with Emily's master yesterday. We should check on things at the hotel first.
I forgot Nahida is not Verena for a second there. Emily with the flower over here. What a view. No.
Emily!
Emily, how's Edgar?
No longer in critical condition, thankfully. He's still very weak, but with a bit more rest, he should regain consciousness soon. My chemical analysis of Auguste also went smoothly, although it certainly raised some questions.
Some question? What question?
I was able to identify the components that give the substance its fragrance, but I also noticed an abnormal trace of elemental energy in the sample.
They use slime.
Elemental energy?
Will that have an effect on the body?
Hard to say. It was such a minute amount, proportionally speaking, like mixing a single drop of perfume into the ocean.
Oh, I see. Well, Pamanov eat slime before and it doesn't seem that bad.
I had to use one of the newest tests developed in recent years to even detect the traces present in the sample. Unless you were abnormally sensitive to elemental energy, I doubt it would have any effect, even if you use the product every day for 10 years. As for whether Master's condition was caused by the elemental energy present in the sample or some other component of the perfume, it's still too early to say.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. Did Tainari come and find you? Maybe we could ask him to take a look.
I received a message from him last night, but I haven't heard anything since. The message said he was looking into some information at the academia.
You're telling me you're thinking about Tainari now? Really?
Oh, Paimon thought he might have stopped by to see you first. Excuse me? Is Miss Emilie here?
Ah, Coley! As soon as I heard that voice, I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, perfect! Familiar faces! Traveler, Paimon, you're here too!
Every time there's a familiar face, Coley's like, thank god. Thank goodness. I'm guessing Tainari tell you to bring the news.
Oh, of course. Tainari's apprentice. He's mentioned you many times. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. And please, no need for formalities. Emilie is just fine.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you too, Emily.
Yes, just go with it.
Did Tainari send you here, Kale? Yep. Master and the others went through decades worth of records last night, and still haven't had a chance to rest.
Oh
I'm
no.
fast on my feet, so it only made sense for me to come and give you an update.
Yeah, if Tainari come here, Tainari gonna fall down. Is Tainari okay?
Anyway, based on what they've reviewed so far, they believe there's no indication that a researcher by the name of Vijava ever passed through the academia.
Could it have been an allies?
Master considered that possibility as well, but the name wasn't the only dead end. Master tried to track down people with a similar research direction or background, but also couldn't find a match.
Oh no, maybe they fake it?
How is that possible?
Maybe her identity as a researcher from Sumeru was all ruse all along? That means Kira is not dead?
It's starting to
Or no,
seem
Vijava.
very likely. If we want to figure out her true identity, I'm afraid another conversation with those two merchants might be our only...
Wait, how do they know Vijava is unalive?
Hey,
Hey, what up? What happened?
Lucian!
That voice is...
It's Sylvain! Wait, you don't think Kirio came back, do you?
I will only one way to find
That
out.
seems impossible. If someone came in or out of the hotel just now, we would have seen them.
Hey, let's go inside and check. Come. This is quite interesting now.
Locked?
Locked? It's actually locked. Wait, what? You rush into a hallway and head to Lucine's room. You try to enter, but the door
It's locked?
won't budge. I'll try to break it. Oh god, that's a key. How strong are we? Anyway, I'm not gonna pay for the door, by the way. Yeah.
Lucian! Lucian! Come on! Wake up!
I'm getting Sylvain is the one that make Lucine like that. There's no way he did not do that. Is he going to be okay?
Emily, my brother, he's gonna be okay, right? He's just unconscious. Like what happened to Edgar?
Yep, he is just unconscious. Forever.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sylvain, but we were too late this time.
Well,
No, that's not possible.
what do you mean not possible? That is possible.
Traveler, Kale, Mr. Sylvain has gone through a huge shock.
Really?
He needs some space to calm down. Could one of you take him next door? It's not good for him to look at his brother's body like this.
I should probably take him. You guys could just be here.
Of course. Leave it to me.
No, I'm about to say Kole should be the last one because Kole cannot bodyguard herself. I don't know, I'll notify the sheriff regardless.
Thank you both.
Gotcha. Paimon, you're not helping, by the way.
Mr. Sylvain, let's get you up. Here, take my hand. Nice and slow.
And steady. And easy. Where are you guys looking at? That's why you should always tell the truth or bad thing will happen.
We'll take things from here. Just focus on getting some rest. Here, this way.
I don't know why that's hilarious. Well, punishment indeed. I feel like he do that on purpose. Or that's just an act.
Poor guy. He's like a shell of his former self. He may have made some bad decisions in life, but right now, Paimon can't help but feel sorry for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Good person or bad, the death of a loved one is equally painful. All the moments he shared with his brother, every hardship and triumph they endured together, are now memories he has to carry alone.
After all, every single people is people or human, so... Well, that's what Kiria wanted, I guess.
If Kiria really was behind this, then what exactly did he do to Lucian?
Unalive him?
Lucian can no longer speak. but the traces left behind by his death most certainly can.
Liquid inside the body. Well, time to open it up.
Traveler, I've got things covered here at the scene. I'll leave you to contact the sheriff.
You're not gonna open up the body, right? Right? Some time passed and Sheriff Sham rushed
Who would have thought?
to the scene.
Yesterday's case is still up in the air, and now this happens.
And this one is down on the ground.
Miss Emily, I heard you're an experienced forensic doctor. Have you been able to discover anything?
Oh, I'm not actually a forensic doctor. I just happen to have some relevant knowledge. I did take a look, though. Judging by the temperature and rigidity of the body, it appears the time of death was sometime last night. I'd have to do a more thorough investigation to find out more.
It's last night, so Lucina already know what happened before that.
Then, would you mind helping us investigate? Before he left, Tainari said we could trust your judgment if something like this were to happen.
Of course, I appreciate your trust. Many of the traces left behind at the scene will fade with time, so the sooner we investigate, the better.
We'll help too. We don't know much about dead bodies, but you can leave the other clues to us.
Paimon, a lot of stuff happened in the past. You really don't know? A lot of unalive bodies have happened. Okay, so we got a flower, we got a sham.
To tell you the truth, the exhibition has left us quite short-handed. We're lucky to have your help.
At least that's not a sham. You know what? No, I should not make a joke out of people's name. Okay, my bad. The corner filled with a flower and the strange fragrance. Emily.
Pupils are dilated, skin is flushed. No overt external injuries or signs of a struggle.
Let's try to post-mortem. No. This bag is stuffed with cloth and other daily necessities, and it's quite heavy. That's it. One inside cabinet. The space inside cabinet is divided into various compartments. Doesn't look like person could be inside there. So we're trying to. I guess from the air is the only. Oh, the door. Slowly rising into the air. It seems familiar somehow. The door. Imagine I proceed to exit. It's already to a hallway. The lock broke when we forced our way in.
And the windows are shut tight too. Seems like the only way to get in would have been through Sylvain's room.
Or Sylvain is the one that do all of this.
Well, looks like we've investigated as much as we can. Let's go report back to Emily and Shiam.
And who now? Shiam?
So, did you find anything?
I found stuff. It's kind of obvious that we are walking around. You are just standing here. Surely you know what we're searching. Like, what did we do? There's no sign of forced entry. The only way would have been through Sylvain's room.
Paimon can show you. Here, it'd be something like this.
Yeah, that. How did you grab a pencil? Wow, that is. Huh? You draw that pipe? Wow, that's insane. Not gonna lie, Paimon, I didn't know you're a freaking good artist.
But entering through the room next door without alerting Sylvain. Wait, you don't think Sylvain could have been the one who?
No, his reaction to the loss of his brother seemed genuine, and he doesn't have a motive.
Are you sure about that?
Then what could have happened last night? I know Sylvain is still in shock, but he's our only available witness. We have to take his statement.
And this is why you did a CCTV. Wait, actually that doesn't work. It's a bedroom.
I agree. Also, I've made some new discoveries, so we might as well head next door and go through everything together.
Together next door. Rest in peace, buddy. Rest in peace. Actually, you are resting in the floor. Or on the floor. Called for some time. A lot of time have which one? This one. A lot of room. A lot of door. But which one is the real one? So, Sylvain is not the one, with that being said. Oh, I love how the story is just like, we're gonna clear Sylvain, so you guys don't think it's Sylvain.
Mr. Sylvain, I need you to tell me everything you and your brother did since yesterday afternoon. Did you see or hear anything strange?
After Kyria attacked Edgar, my brother and I were incredibly careful. we returned to our rooms and decided to lock all the doors leading to the hallway.
Well, I guess you are not careful enough.
The only door we kept unlocked was the one connecting our rooms. That way, if we heard any commotion coming from the other room, we could help each other. But I didn't hear any sort of commotion last night. Not a single noise. I woke up this morning, opened the door, and Lucien was...
It might be the incense.
So, no movement from the room next door. No forced entry via Sylvain's room. No signs of a struggle at the scene. And no external injury on Lucien's body. What kind of cause of death are we dealing with here?
Air poisoning?
I did notice a few things about the body. Lucien's pupils were dilated and his skin was flushed, very similar to Master's symptoms after the attack yesterday.
Drinking?
There weren't any traces of liquid in his mouth or nose, so it's unlikely he was forced to ingest anything. The more plausible explanation is that he inhaled a substance without knowing it, and I'd say that substance was likely Auguste.
Crazy. It's because he's breathing something in, and the story is about a perfumer? Crazy.
Auguste? No, that's not possible. Inhaling Auguste won't kill you.
I agree.
And anyway, it would have been for just one night.
Worst case scenario, you got a... What? You got sick from smelling a bird or a goose, but, one night. So you're saying prolonged exposure is dangerous?
No, that's not what I meant.
That's what you meant.
Emilie, you ran your tests, didn't you? Go on. Tell everyone whether you found any poison.
No, I didn't find any common toxins.
See? Auguste is harmless. The market response proved that years ago.
Why are you so into Auguste?
That may be true for most people, but not for everyone.
Again, like Paimoni's condition, the allergic, is different base of people.
Master!
Should not stand yet, old man.
Edgar? You're up and about already?
Thanks to Emily, I'm out of the woods for now.
The woods? Didn't you sleep on the bedroom? Oh, it's just I see.
Sylvain, no matter how hard you may try to hide it, the truth will always come to light.
Yeah, how many... Even though you try to be dark, there's always a light.
Edgar!
Even if we could keep it a secret for another 10 or 20 years, do you think Kyria would just let us be?
Gotcha, so Kyria's trying to bring this to light.
No.
Kyria is not a bad
He
person.
would never give up. Not if he's doing all of this for Yelena.
I'm guessing Yelena is Vijava?
That's Vijava's real name.
I knew it!
Yelena wasn't a scholar from Sumeru. She was an exiled Fatus from Snezhnaya.
What's up with the black screen? I thought they are gonna show a special like cutscene or even just, the froze motion art.
A Fatus?
Of a what? Ah, I see.
The Fatui. Well, that means the elemental energy present in Auguste was...
That thing.
Ah, so you've already detected it. Well, Sylvain, looks like there's truly no reason to hide things now.
For some reason, Sylvain name sounds so familiar.
Oh,
The Auguste flower was created with the mutative and distorting power of a delusion.
There you go, delusion. Finally, I remember the name. Yeah, delusion.
A delusion?
A delusion is an item that can make you use an element like you wear a vision, but in the course of your life. Something like that, I forgot.
The Fatui, delusions... I never would have thought Auguste was hiding this many secrets.
With that being said, Child have used it and Child was injured, together with Diluc his father as well. I think Diluc kinda used the same one as well, cause Diluc don't really have a vision.
Born of a delusion, Auguste contained distorted elemental energy, Prolonged exposure over many years could have a harmful effect on the body.
Like that.
That's enough, Edgar. I'll take it from here. At first, Yelena wanted to keep refining the perfume and the flower, but no one knew how long the perfume mania was going to last back then. It didn't have any effect on ordinary people anyway. Every day we postponed going to market was another day of lost earning potential.
It is.
So you decided poisoning people was worth the risk?
It is.
Listen, it's not like it was good for business. But all that talk about Auguste being harmful over time, Yelena was just speculating. The impact was practically negligible. Unless you were particularly sensitive to elemental energy or had an entire bottle shoved down your throat like Edgar. You could use the product for decades and be completely fine.
Why are you talking as if somebody just do that on purpose? It's like he drank a freaking entire bottle of a freaking perfume. Not because he want to, alright?
It may be true there are no records of Auguste poisoning in Fontaine, but even if no one was acutely poisoned, willfully bringing a product to market despite explicit knowledge of its harmful effects is still a serious crime.
The divine and noble Auguste originate from a delusion. If the truth came out, the market for your product will be very destroyed. What do you mean, Humph?
That explains why you were so intent on keeping Yelena and Kiria's involvement a secret all this time, despite readily confessing to all your financial crimes.
And now you are paying the price. R.I.P. your brother.
The Fatui, delusions, Auguste. If the Marechaussee Phantom discovered the connection between the three, there would have been enough evidence to send you to the Fortress of Meripede for life.
I mean, we got the sheriff here, no?
Ha! If I'd known coming to Sumeru would put a target on my back, I would have been more than happy to stay there. At least that way, Lucien would still be alive.
Oh, I still remember Lucien. I thought he already forgot.
All these years without any sign of Kyria, and he pops up out of nowhere the minute my brother and I get out of prison? It couldn't be any clearer who the kid's after. Auguste was harmless before. The fact that it's killing people all of a sudden must be his doing as well.
Maybe not.
So there's bad blood between you.
What about Yelena's death? Was that a cover-up too? A way to destroy evidence?
I'll admit, we thought about it at one point. We took care to disguise the products circulating on the market, and no one was questioning Yelena's fake identity. But if the Marechaussee Phantom decided to look into the flower beds, it would have been the end. Yelena's ties to the Fatui, the role of the delusion, everything would have been exposed. Before we could even put our plan in motion, Yelena beat us to it. She burned all her flower beds and threw herself into the fire as well.
But if her goal was to destroy evidence, there would have been no reason to do that to herself. Yeah, she could have just burned the flower beds and fled with her brother.
Unless it was an accident.
I thought about it for a long time, but it wasn't until just now that I finally understood her reasoning. Everything she did, it was for her brother, Kyria.
What part is for her brother?
One of the reasons they defected from the Fatui was the deterioration of Yelena's body due to her excessive use of a delusion.
Ah, I see.
She didn't want her brother to follow in her footsteps after her death. After arriving in Fontaine, Yelena continued using the delusion to cultivate the Auguste flower, weakening her body even further. There were times when she couldn't even walk.
So she couldn't flee with her brother because she was afraid of holding him back.
She cannot walk? Oh my god.
If her true identity was exposed, she and her brother would face pressure from both Snezhnaya and Fontaine.
That's true.
The Auguste flower and Yelena's own corroded body both bore the mark of a delusion. there would have been no way to avoid suspicion. So, in the end, she burnt it all to ash, including herself. With all the evidence erased, Kyria was free to take the Mora and run.
Like Kyria didn't. I knew it, you cannot burn down Mora.
So the wealth you earned from Auguste, it wasn't destroyed in the fire.
Yes.
Yelena gave it to her brother?
How can, again, a gold got melt down with just a small fire? Or not small fire, big fire. You need it super hot. And I don't think a burn house can do that, can it?
Most likely. Before Yelena died, she said if anything happened to her, she was going to leave everything to her brother. We just didn't realize she meant our cut as well.
R.I.P. or cut. Yeah, and also Zhangli is the one that created the Mora.
That's why Lucien and I were searching for Kyria, to take back our Mora and the Auguste flower. We just didn't realize Kyria was baiting us the whole time. It was all a trap.
But why is Kyria out for revenge anyway? Doesn't he know about Yelena's decision to sacrifice herself?
I don't think he knew his sister was nearing death. Yelena always wore heavy makeup around him to conceal her deteriorating appearance. She kept herself busy with work to keep out of sight. That way her brother wouldn't notice how she could barely walk.
Then all we'll need to do is tell Kyria what really happened, and then he'll give up on his revenge.
I mean, the chance of believing is low.
I'm not so sure.
Yep,
Even if he knew the truth, he'd still find someone to blame.
exactly.
He might think Yelena was forced into using a delusion to cultivate Auguste, or something like that.
Cole, I have experienced this.
It's hard to pull yourself out of that kind of hatred, especially when you've been living in that headspace for so many years.
Because in the past, Cole have got, what is it called? Curse, I suppose.
Very true. Even if Yelena's death was her own choice, I wouldn't call myself innocent either.
Edgar, what are you talking about?
Think about it, Sylvain. If we hadn't been in such a hurry to capitalize on the perfume mania all those years ago, do you think Yelena would have elected to take those risks? If we hadn't been so blinded by greed, so insistent on increasing the scale of the flower cultivation, do you think Yelena's health would have deteriorated as fast as it did? If we hadn't invited the Marechaussee Phantom to our doorstep by breaking the law at every turn, Yelena could have survived.
She knew her limits. She knew her days were numbered. Maybe it was for her brother, but she was in it for the Mora just as much as us. We were just trying to earn a bit of Mora. And what, we deserve to die for that? Target me for being the mastermind, sure. But what about Lucien? He was just following my orders.
Sometimes I wonder whether you care about your brother or not. Every time he talks, it doesn't sound like he cares about his brother. It's like he forgot about his brother, and now all of a sudden it's like, but my brother. I'm like, wait, what? Also, yes, if you put people's life in danger, you deserve that.
Lucien's crime, was it really so extreme that he had to pay for it with his life?
It's more towards he pay for your sins, I suppose.
The only person that can answer that question is a judge.
No, the person that can answer that question is Jesus. What do you mean?
Fine. I've said my piece anyway. Drag me back to Fontaine to stand trial. I don't care.
3 people from Fontaine, 1 from Snezhnaya, and a crime committed in Port Ormos. What a headache.
So what's going to happen? It's alright, you got this.
Well, we can only wait until the Academia sends someone to deal with it. I'm guessing we'll have to contact Fontaine as well. In any case, we won't really know anything until tomorrow.
Hey, with that, I think we are gonna meet Sino.
With the exhibition, we don't even have space in Port Ormos to detain anyone. Such a headache.
The hotel could suffice. You could station a few officers to keep an eye on Sylvain and myself. Although with Sylvain's mental state and my physical one, I don't think you need to worry about a jailbreak.
For you, yeah, for Sylvain, not too sure. And also, who knows? Kyria might come back.
Mr. Edgar, are you saying...
If Sylvain is to stand trial, then I deserve the same fate. A crime is a crime, accomplice or not.
Well, say it.
I'd just like to take care of a few things before I go. Say goodbye to my plants and all that.
I guess that's your plan after all.
As for Sylvain, I'm sure he also has some goodbyes of his own.
Yep, time to meet brother again, brother.
Would you be willing to grant that request, Sheriff?
It's not too troublesome, so it should be possible.
Well, all right. I'll talk to the academia. No matter who you were in Fontaine or what crimes you committed, the man we grew to know in Sumeru proved himself to be a good person. Your request is granted.
Well, I forgot, Sino is from Sumeru. For some reason, I thought he was from Fontaine, I don't know why.
You have my thanks, Sheriff.
Righty, but if we wait until tomorrow, doesn't that mean something could still happen tonight?
Happen tonight?
Yes.
Oh, you mean the possibility that Kyria might try to finish what he started?
Yes, because crime always come back to the scene twice.
Yeah, all we know is that he uses Auguste to poison people, but we still have no idea how to catch him in the act.
Put a bear trap.
If he targets Sylvain or Edgar again, we might not be able to stop him.
That may be true, but what if we can take advantage of his desperation?
Desperation?
If we take advantage of this situation and lure him in on purpose, we might finally have the chance to talk to him.
Master, no. That's too dangerous.
Talking to him will really do bad thing. Also, wait. Yeah, also when you got poisoned, now that he can talk, does that mean he confirmed Kyria is the one that doing it?
So, that's your plan.
Yeah, that is his plan. The one that's sitting in front of you.
If Kyria learns we're being taken away tomorrow, his last chance to enact his revenge would be tonight.
Gotcha, so you are also trying to take a revenge.
In other words, you want to use us as bait to capture him.
Capture? Not necessarily. I just want to talk. What? Are you afraid of him?
He is afraid that he is gonna go with the brother. It's alright, you can meet your brother. Worst case scenario, you know.
Afraid? This is my only chance to make him pay for what he did.
I kinda know it.
I'm spending the rest of my life in prison anyway. I can't just sit back and let him ride off into the sunset with our fortune. There's no way I'm letting him get away with it. Not after what he did to Lucien.
Yeah.
As for the danger, everyone else just needs to make preparations in advance to protect us.
Who is us?
I'll admit, it could work. We just need to spread the word that Edgar and Sylvain are leaving tomorrow.
Edgar, Sylvain, and the Sham is the only one that without, vision. So who am I, or are we protecting?
Then I'll station some of my men around the hotel. If we have your assistance as well, our chance of success would be even higher.
Not higher. It will always success.
I still have some reservations. But if you insist on carrying out this plan, I won't deny you my help.
I mean, we can stand help for guard or to guard.
I'll also keep watch.
Hey!
Although
I'll
I
protect
think
Collie.
Sylvain and myself should remain alone in our respective rooms. If Kyria noticed another person in the room, he might decide to turn back. And besides, it's possible he's already transformed Auguste into a potent toxic gas.
You mean if he doesn't see a way to get his hands on the two of you, he might get so desperate that he'll just start using Auguste on everybody?
Including himself.
If that were to happen, everyone standing guard, even the innocent citizens in Port Ormos would all be in danger.
All of this can be avoided if we just talk to Nahida. It's literally just like, neither are you dead? Where is this person? Easy.
That's why everyone else needs to keep to the shadows.
Alright, old man, calm down.
You're still recovering. You need to rest.
This old pack of bones doesn't bounce back like it used to.
You bounce?
I suppose I'll just have to leave the rest to you.
Dang, Edgar, I didn't know when you're young you can actually bounce around.
Alright, we can figure out a plan to keep watch later. Right now, I say we split up, start spreading that information before it's too late.
Gotcha, we're gonna split up like your parents. My bad, I didn't mean to, I swear. With everyone's help, the new about Auguste, as well as Edgar Sylvain impending departure begin to spread. The news. So what happened after that? Paimon, say something. Bro, it's just so dead silence. Now we got music at least. Is that Kiria?
Have you heard? Mr. Edgar's been detained. He's being taken away tomorrow.
What? He's the one who helped craft all the fragrances for our shop.
I wonder if that man is the one that helped us spreading the rumor. Although Paimon just tell everyone.
My child how to make perfume. How could this happen?
Paimon just go to random people and do you know that perfume maker, that person? Yeah, he's about to leave. Like, if I'm this random person, I'm gonna like, what in the fairy is this flying kid?
He hasn't been convicted yet. Let's just wait and see what the court has to say.
Oh, everyone on the street is talking about the rumors. No matter where Kiri is hiding, he must have heard them by now. Let's head back to the hotel and take a break. We can see how the other preparations are going while we're at it.
Yeah, apparently we're the one that shared the rumors, so it's kind of weird still, but sure, I guess. I don't know where is Kiria though. Wouldn't it be cool if we somehow run around and we found Kiria somewhere? Would be interesting. Who is this? Oh, Emily.
Emily, Sheriff Xian wants to talk to you and the Traveler about our plans for the Night Watch.
Thank you, Kale. But first, here, I prepared a kind of herbal tea that helps calm the spirit. Why don't you have some?
Emily for a second sounds a little bit nervous there.
Oh, that's very kind of you, but I'm okay.
I'm guessing nervous is because of the voice acting, not because of the in-game story.
Oh, it's not good to be so tense, especially when we've got a long night ahead of us. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I couldn't help but notice that something seems to be on your mind.
Yeah, I mean, Cole's still young.
Was it that obvious?
It's okay, Cole. I'll hold your hand. If I'm not enough, I'll call Amber. Somehow.
You seem very preoccupied with Kiria's revenge. If there's anything you want to talk about, I'm happy to listen.
I'm guessing taking revenge is not a good thing because in the past, Cole tried to do that and Amber made her realize that that's not a good thing.
Oh,
You are?
Hey,
What up?
Emily, Kale? Oh, are we interrupting something?
Paimon, you always interrupting everything.
No, not at all. This will be easier to talk through with you here anyway.
I'm guessing because we're familiar faces?
I've just been thinking. If Kiria has the capacity to commit murder while remaining completely undetected, why didn't he target Sylvain along with Lucien last night?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. Perhaps he don't have enough time, perhaps he only got one incense?
There was just a single door separating them. If his intention was to target both brothers, then there was barely anything standing in his way. Don't you think? When I accompanied Sylvain to his room after Lucien died, and saw how distraught he was, I suddenly realized, maybe Kiria did that on purpose. Maybe he wanted Sylvain to experience the pain of losing a loved one before he completed his ultimate revenge.
Ah, that makes sense.
So did he attack Edgar as a warning then? To scare Sylvain and Lucien?
Based on what we've heard about Kiria, that may very well be the case.
Losing his sister all those years ago. What has been going through his head?
Revenge?
What has he been forced to endure?
The pain of losing a loved one? Also, one more thing, yeah, all of those does make sense. And with that being said, he have been blaming those two for, like, his big sister is dead.
Whenever I get to thinking like that, I just can't help but wonder. If I were in his place, would I be able to let go of that hatred?
Coley, I really hope I'm sitting right beside you.
I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't think like that. Not after everything he's done. But I just can't help it.
There's nothing wrong with the way you're feeling. Empathy is a part of human nature. In all my years of cleaning up crime scenes, I've witnessed countless families mourn their loved ones. Their cries of devastation and anger still echo through my mind, even now.
Dang, that one is a little bit out of the blue.
Some of them even try to stop me, begging me not to erase the last remnants of their loved ones. But getting swept up in those emotions will corrupt your judgment.
That makes sense.
Surround yourself with fragrance for too long, and your sense of smell will become dull. Allow yourself to be consumed by your emotions, and you lose the ability to think rationally.
Eat too much and you will be thick. No, that's different.
So while you hold on to that sense of empathy, you also need to ask yourself, do Sylvain and Lucien really deserve to die?
Kinda.
How much did they truly know about the Fatui and the delusion?
A little bit?
Did they force Yelena to make those decisions?
Maybe. Ooh, last one makes sense.
Answering those questions requires a lot of time and evidence, while a single act of vengeance can put those answers forever out of our reach. I've witnessed a lot of deaths in Fontaine. When someone dies, a certain amount of information can be inferred from the traces left behind at the scene.
Dang, Emily is helping player to think logically.
But generally speaking, death will just leave most questions unanswered, and the whole picture ever incomplete.
Yes, because as we found evidence, but we still don't know if whether that's true or real or not.
Once you're consumed by hatred, it will become next to impossible to think about things that way.
Exactly.
For someone like Kyria, I'm sure right and wrong lost all meaning a long time ago.
You're right. The fact that we can approach these questions from this perspective isn't because we're more rational than them. It's because we're fortunate enough not to have suffered that kind of loss. But that also makes us perfectly positioned to stand on the outside and try to pull them back from the brink before it's too late. I understand Kyria's decision, but I still want to stop him. Master, Sylvain, and Kyria. They all deserve to survive.
They do? I mean, they do, yep. Because, life is very important, yep.
The fortunate and the unfortunate.
I feel like from here on out I should keep silence. Why does old man stand from afar? Oh, are you sacrificing yourself? I feel like you are sacrificing yourself for the young one.
Emilie, traveler. Huh? Edgar, you're here too?
Oh, it's you two! Didn't you head back to your room to rest, Edgar? Is it really okay for you to be out and about like this?
A little exercise never hurt anyone.
Perhaps you drink the perfume on your own.
Besides, I don't have much time left in Sumeru. So I'd like to take care of my plants while I still can.
Dang, I thought he was gonna say I don't have much time left to live.
We could do that for you, Master.
We can? Yeah, we can.
No need. I've grown attached to these flowers.
I
and
see.
This is my last chance to say goodbye. Come tomorrow. I'll be happy to entrust their care to you.
Are you sure that's the plan that you want to take?
I would imagine Sheriff Sham is here for a more important reason.
You cannot even talk straight. How about resting?
The Night Watch! You mentioned earlier that we still need to confirm our plans.
We have a plan?
That's right. I've stationed some of my men around the surrounding area, but we still don't have anyone standing guard next to Sylvain's room.
Next to Sylvain's, you mean Lucini's room?
Exactly. After some discussion, we concluded that Sylvain has the highest risk of being attacked next.
Exactly.
You're the most skilled fighter here, traveler.
I have fought a dragon, which means I'm too skilled. Kiria might got stabbed by accident.
And Emily's expertise is sure to come in handy in a pinch. That's why I want you two stationed next to Sylvain's room.
We
So,
too?
are you up for it?
Fine with me. What about you, Emily?
Sounds perfectly reasonable. I'll be glad to have your help tonight, Traveler.
Thank you for helping me for tonight. You'll help a lot tonight. Should I stop saying tonight like that? Yeah, you'll help me tonight. Guys, Emily will help me tonight.
My men and I will be stationed nearby to monitor the situation. A warning will be issued if any unusual activity is detected.
Don't we have a CCTV on Sumeru or from Sumeru?
I'll head into the mountains to keep an eye on everyone coming in and out of the area. Just leave the wilderness surveillance to the forest rangers.
You get it. You get it? You get it. Okay, I think that's everyone. I don't see Emily around or Edgar, so let's just head inside, I guess. There's not really anywhere to go. Enter Sylvain. Oh. Man, the story quest is very long. How are you, buddy?
Shouldn't you be standing guard in the room next door? I would hate for Kyria to notice you here, an abandoned ship.
You know, after all this talk, I think you deserve to be with your brother. I mean, a reunion is good, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Kiri, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna use my sword instead of your incense. Not gonna lie. Why does the loading take ages? Oh, right, because it started the story quest. Man.
Huh. Not a peep. Has Kyria given up on his revenge?
Just like that? Probably not. Maybe somebody already fallen down.
Guess we'll have to keep at it.
Imagine they're actually using some kind of like a whip.
Still nothing unusual. Paimon took a peek into the room next door and Sylvain's already sleeping.
Whatever? Sham hasn't issued a warning either.
Perhaps Kyria's true motive was simply forcing Sylvain to confess his crimes.
Or perhaps something to do with the sun?
No, that can't be right.
It cannot.
If all he wanted was for Sylvain to be convicted for his true crimes, he could have tipped off the Marechaussee Phantom years ago.
And he already unalived Lucine as well, so there's no reason to stop there.
There must be something we're missing. Something extremely important.
Not Kyria, it's Edgar.
Maybe we just need to calm down a little. How about some tea? That herbal blend from earlier was pretty tasty.
Okay, foreshadowing what about to happen? We can abandon our pause. There's nothing here that we can use to make tea though.
You're right. Maybe we can look for a different distraction then, like looking at the flowers.
Ooh, that's a good one. And also one more thing is, I mean, we can make a tea. We don't have the tea bag. I'm about to say we got Emily for the hot... nope, never mind.
Oh, there's a glaze lily here. Paimon didn't notice it earlier.
Because they don't bloom during the day. Only bloom at the night. Oh.
Flowers, glaze lilies, incense.
I forgot. So incense combined with the flower equals poison.
Oh no! Sylvain's room! Quick!
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Wait, what?
Initially, like the start of the story where Paimon allergic all of a sudden because of tree flower. Sylvain lies unmoving on the bed. Yeah, well, like I said, probably sleep forever. Kinda figured. But initially, combination of stuff can make good thing and bad thing.
Hey, did you hear? Someone was attacked again last night.
It was the older of the merchant brothers, right?
Yeah, I think his name was Sylvain. Poor guy was murdered in cold blood.
First it was Mr. Edgar, then that merchant named Lucian, and now this.
Listen up, everyone. This is an active crime scene. Please, no loitering.
Now get out of the lobby.
It's been 3 days and they haven't even caught a glimpse of the guy. What is going on?
Do you think it could be the work of an evil spirit?
What now?
I mean, how do you get away with something like that with so many people watching?
It's called the power of the flower. A well-planned assassination.
Keep it moving, everyone. No loitering.
Yep, no loitering. Something about Edgar is definitely something. Seems like Edgar is part of this. But I'm not too sure. What do I know, right? We found something?
I suppose I'm next.
Exactly.
You don't know that. Kyria already attacked you once, and you survived. Perhaps he doesn't consider your crime to be worthy of death.
You were the only reason I managed to survive, Emily. I never did thank you for that, did I?
Perhaps Edgar tried to drink the perfume on purpose, scream on purpose to make to make it like somebody attacked him, because we didn't find anyone. AKA Edgar tried to end everything. Edgar tried to poison himself, Edgar tried to poison the brother, because all those flower is, well, already dead in the first place and incense.
Even if I wasn't there, Tainari was also in the vicinity. He would have been able to help.
Is that so? I suppose I'm a very fortunate person then. I have exceptional students, caring friends, and the respect of my peers.
You do?
If it is indeed my time to go, then I'll die without regrets.
When Jesus called, Jesus will call, but now is not the time, old man. Live your life while you can.
But Kyria has nothing. Yelena is gone. Now, his enemies are too.
AKA Kiev is empty.
It really makes you wonder if there's even a reason to keep on living.
Because you already solved all of your goal or completion. Yeah, taking revenge is not really a good thing, because initially, after taking revenge, like, what to do now? Like, I've done everything, like, what's the point of anything?
If you really want an answer, I suppose you'll have to ask Kyria himself once we finally catch him.
Well, I hope it all goes well. Emily, there's something else I'd like to ask of you. With everything that's happened, holding the exhibition is off the table now. But so many flowers were transported here for the show, some of them thousands of miles away from their homeland. I can't let them wither away with no one to care for them. Whether Kyria gets to me first, or I'm sent back to Fontaine to stand trial. I won't be around to look after them. I know it's a lot to ask. But could I entrust them to your care?
Dang, a good soul, a kind soul.
Of course, Master.
Even a flower is important.
Really? Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Now I truly have nothing to worry about.
Sheriff Sham still has some questions for me, so I've gotta go.
Go ahead. Best not to keep him waiting. He can be quite impatient.
I'm sorry, Master.
Oh god, it sounds like Emily is the one that do all of those. So in the end, I'm guessing Edgar's the one that do it. Like I said, the flower already been there.
Another all-nighter. Paimon sure hopes Emily's plan will go well.
Quick thing to say.
Oh, but Kali still looks quite worried. Let's go talk to her.
Again, this flower only bloom at night. Incense already been here a while ago. Combine those, become poison. Edgar, the one that, make this place into a poison place or a flower storage. One more thing is, we did not find anybody hiding to attack Edgar. So Edgar must be drinking the thing and try to make it sound like there's somebody else. So yeah, a lot of possibilities.
Emily still isn't back. I hope she didn't run into any trouble.
Extremely meticulous. I'm sure she is prepared to handle anything that might come her way.
Yeah, that's true.
Really?
Traveler.
Yeah?
I had my men start spreading the information you requested. The crowd is gone now too, but I have to admit, I'm not really sure what's going on.
Same.
After listening to Emily's plan, I started getting the materials together and arranging personnel. I barely had a second to spare last night. To be honest, I'm still not sure how the crime was committed that night.
It's pretty simple actually.
The key clue was right in front of us the entire time!
Feel like you have been waiting to say that for a while now, huh?
Let's go! We'll show you where the culprit hid Auguste.
In the goose. No. Nope, I meant to talk to Sham. I bet. Place lily swaying gently, petals close, there's ring moisture around the rim. That is it? Oh, it's kind of annoying I didn't talk to Colleen
Glazed
now.
lily, huh? I think I've heard of it before. It's a flower from Liyue, right?
The one time I don't want them to TP me to the place, bruh.
Well, did you know it only blooms at night?
Emily, you're back!
How did it go?
Exactly as expected.
A flower that only blooms at night. Ah, like the Neelitpala lotus.
Exactly. Although the Neelitpala lotus wouldn't be a good substitute in this scenario. When it's closed, the gaps between the petals are too large. That's why Kyria chose the glaze lily as his mechanism. He would start by preparing an Auguste sample.
Dab it in the outside of the petals, pour it into the flower, soak the area around the petals.
There's a sticky substance on the edge of the flower petals. It's one I recognize.
Really? I don't. The pret.
If you stick the petals together with slime condensate, then in the daytime, the glaze lily would act almost like a hidden container.
Exactly.
If poured into the flower pot, the liquid would seep into the soil. That might prevent the substance from taking effect. If applied to the outside, you would still be able to smell Auguste even in the daytime.
Which means that's not the one. Submit.
That's right. He applied a diluted form of slime condensate to the petals to stick them together and enclosed a sample of Auguste in the center. That way, the Auguste would remain trapped inside during the daytime, unable to seep between the petals and evaporate into the air. This also allowed the culprit to plant the poison well in advance while his targets remained oblivious. However, the diluted slime condensate wouldn't be viscous enough to prevent the petals of the glaze lily from opening at night. So by nightfall, the flower would bloom, thereby forcing the target to inhale the Auguste trapped inside.
So it got nothing to do with flower and incense combined.
And Kyria could execute his revenge without having to step foot inside the room during the night.
But how did he hide those flowers?
By the next morning, the sample of Auguste would have nearly fully evaporated. The glaze lily would have already closed its petals, and any lingering odor would be concealed by the fragrance of the other flowers in the room.
And also their leaf kinda get rid of the other poisoning gas and anything. Mission will be accomplished.
Wait a second. You're telling me this version of Auguste is so toxic, inhaling the minute amount trapped inside a flower is enough to kill a grown man?
You can try if you want.
And how did Edgar even survive ingesting a whole bottle of the stuff?
I know, right? Crazy.
That's because Auguste is just as dangerous now as it was all those years ago. The level of toxicity has never changed. Only a small subset of people are truly at risk.
Ah, you mean people who are sensitive to elemental energy. So it's just some sort of happy coincidence that Sylvain and Lucien are allergic to the stuff? That can't be right. They were involved in the operation all those years ago. If the stuff gave them a bad reaction, they would have known from the very start.
I wouldn't use the word allergic necessarily. It's more like they're susceptible to its effects.
What?
But that distinction isn't important right now.
New vocabulary? I don't know, what is that?
You can think of it this way. It's not that Sylvain and Lucien are innately sensitive to elemental energy, but that Kyria found a way to ensure that they would be.
The primordial seed, the incense in the room. Which... Oh, so
Fontaine,
it does
I
connect them.
experienced how drinking primordial seawater made me more attuned with the element of hydro. But that substance would be hard to get around here.
You cannot get it anymore. Doesn't exist.
All kinds of essential oils commonly found in alchemical products can temporarily increase elemental affinity. But it would be difficult to force someone to use them without knowing it.
Oh wait, no, you can still get primordial seawater. It's just that Fontaine become human.
The incense I smelled earlier seemed familiar. Thinking back on it, I'm almost certain it was the scent of spirit borneal.
It is.
In Sumeru, scholars use spirit borneal to aid meditation and stimulate their connection to the Dendro Archon.
Ooh.
Alchemically produced essential oils, the primordial seawater that caused unrest in Fontaine not too long ago. All of those are substances that can heighten your sensitivity to elemental energy.
And Kyria chose Spirit Borneal.
That stuff gave us a lot of trouble when we first came to Sumeru. Ah, yes. I definitely remember that.
In Sumeru, it's not uncommon to use incense indoors, so its presence wouldn't arouse suspicion. The flowers in the room could also serve to mask the scent.
Still question, how did it end up inside?
Flowers were pretty important to this plan, huh? The glazed lily is native to Liwa. It would be completely unnatural to have one here in Sumeru if it weren't for the exhibition. What a coincidence.
Actually, it's not a coincidence at all.
The exhibition, the hotel, it was all meticulously designed trap. Like I said, everything is planned.
No wonder he was willing to pay a small fortune to rent out the hotel. He probably used the Mora Yelena left him, don't you think? That money was supposed to set him free, but in the end, it was just a tool for his revenge.
There's a saying among forensic doctors in Fontaine. Every step you take leaves a mark.
Really? And every time you are still moving, you're breathing. Actually, no, wait, I got one as well. Your life is only a few minutes. It reset every time you breathe.
But up until this point, we haven't been able to detect any trace of Kyria's activities. That's not because he was coming and going undetected, or because he's some kind of evil spirit, but because he's been disguised as someone else this entire time.
Edgar!
Creating such an intricate mechanism out of a glaze lily, setting up the spirit borneal in advance, and arranging for Sylvain and Lucien to stay at the hotel, it all points to one person. The expert in charge of the entire exhibition.
The master.
The Mora spent to rent out the hotel, the way the Auguste flower was cultivated, the method used to disguise his appearance, it all points to one person. The boy who inherited Yelena's legacy, her younger brother.
Bum bum bum, why is this a thing? The real Moida.
Kyria and Edgar are one and the same.
And I already said that ages ago. Why can't I associate this still? That did nothing.
But
I already
Kyria
told
was
you
only in
guys.
his teens back then. He wouldn't even be 40 years old by now.
You know, to make himself look old.
Edgar's lived here for so many years. Even if he changed his appearance, going that long without giving anything away, it would be impossible.
Unless as soon as you leave, you start living here.
Bad news, Sheriff. Mr. Edgar was attacked.
Oh no.
What?
A dark shadow-like figure just ran out of his room. It was giving off a really ominous aura. But before we could even react, the figure up and disappeared like some sort of ghost or something. By the time we got a look inside the room, Mr. Edgar was gone. Do you think Kyria kidnapped him?
I need you to think very carefully about this. Are you certain that figure wasn't Edgar himself?
Gotcha. So did somebody change himself into Edgar?
I mean, Mr. Edgar was so frail. I don't see how he could have moved that fast.
Are you sure about that? Have you tried to kick him before?
It would seem Master decided to tap into an ill-advised source of power.
Delusion.
What? But that's so dangerous with the condition he's in. It's...
Scooter ankle.
But why? Why would he do that? He's already accomplished his revenge.
No. If his aim was to target everyone who had a hand in Yelena's death...
If he left Sylvain alive yesterday, not out of a desire to see him suffer, but to confirm the truth about why Yelena chose to die...
Then there's still one target left.
Who is that exactly? There's one left? I mean, there were 4 people. I don't know, man. Sounds like we're on something right now. So yeah, this black screen over here gonna take ages, and you guys are gonna suffer with me.
The shadow-like figure ran in the direction of the elevator, and my partner immediately chased after them.
We should hurry before they're forced to confront each other.
What could possibly go wrong if they confront each other?
Where in the world did he go? Let's ask the merchants nearby.
Bro, what up? Are you okay?
A ghost! It's a ghost!
Which ghost?
It's all right. Please, calm down and take a deep breath. Can you tell us what you saw?
I'm guessing one of the brother.
I saw a black shadow. It ran right past me.
Are you sure you have enough sleep last time?
How could something like that happen in broad daylight?
And also in public. Why are you guys so scared? You guys are an adult. Even if in the nighttime I saw those things, I'm not gonna be scared like this.
How could something like that happen?
Even if it's in public. It is? It's not really terrifying, bro. Come on, you are just over... I know, over...
Don't come any closer!
Hi, I'm coming closer. There's not really inside places, so I can't say anything.
Don't come any closer!
Okay! Wacom. Why that ugly? Bruh. Why that stinky?
If we go any further, we'll be out of Port Ormos. There'll be hardly any witnesses.
It's all right. I can detect a faint whiff of the scent from here. I would say he passed by this location not too long ago.
Anybody don't want to use elemental energy?
It's this way. Please, follow me.
Will we use our element detection? No. I love how this becomes so useless. Okay. Where are we going? It's this way, come on.
Getting stronger. This must be the place.
I was so confused where it is on just this. Okay, the sun is getting stronger. That's what she said until I cut her out. Oh, well. I need a pyro. Party that I could possibly bring. Sure. Too strong I feel like, but sure. We're inside this domain.
Oh! O's!
No, a goose. Oh, it's... Oh, I see.
Are you alright? Were you attacked?
No, I got kidnapped.
No, I'm all right. I was just chasing after that figure, and then all of a sudden, I didn't feel so hot.
You were hot in the first place?
Let me take a look.
Yeah, try to eat some ice cream. Actually, no. You're not hot.
The air definitely feels heavy. It smells nice, but for some reason, it's hard to breathe.
All of us about to pass out.
This feeling, I've encountered it before.
You have?
Everything looks all right. It was probably just the stress of the chase, combined with the impact of the environment. A bit of rest would do you some good.
Not really. I think something's going on.
I can't rest. Mr. Edgar is still in there. He taught my sister how to make perfume. He's a good man. I can't just abandon him to die by Curia's hand.
O's, you need to calm down and listen to me. Edgar is the one we're after. He and Curia are the same person.
That sounds sad.
But how is that possible?
Magic.
I thought you said Curia was in his 30s. Mr. Edgar is 70-something. Changing your appearance to look decades older, that doesn't seem possible.
Really? All of those prank on YouTube about, muscly men pretend to be old men is actually a thing, by the way.
That's precisely why he had to resort to extraordinary measures to age himself.
A delusion.
Curia used a delusion to bring back the Auguste flower, corroding his body in the process, just like his older sister.
No. He couldn't have. Mr. Edgar has been in Port Ormos for years. If someone started impersonating him all of a sudden, we would have noticed.
Didn't even notice when somebody got unalive.
And what if the impersonation started before he ever set foot in Sumeru?
Yep, like I said. Since the start.
I've yet to confirm it, But I suspect Curia killed the real Edgar in Fontaine not long after his release from prison. While Edgar was incarcerated, Curia started making preparations to replace him, including forcefully aging his body, studying perfumery, and planning the real Edgar's demise.
Dang, skinning people alive is a thing. On this part, I guess skinning old men. What?
The new Edgar then decided to relocate to Sumeru, seemingly out of an innocuous desire to let go of the past. He even left perfume making in favor of mentoring students. But these decisions were all for a specific purpose, the need to distance himself from anyone who might see through the facade. And Sumeru fit the bill to a T, with no one around to question his identity. All he had to do was grow a beard, don a pair of glasses, make a few minor alterations to his appearance, and everyone would believe he was exactly who he claimed, Edgar, a perfumer from Fontaine. As the years went by, he removed his disguise little by little and continued to refine his skills. It would have been a gradual process, one that ensured no one around him would notice anything unusual.
That explains why Sylvain said he barely recognized Edgar back at the hotel!
It does? I do not pay attention.
He aged himself decades beyond his years just so he could accomplish his revenge! Is that even worth it?
Not really.
I need to find Mr. Edgar. He's not that kind of person. He can't be.
Bro, the real Edgar is dead.
What you really need is to get out of here and rest.
And, reality check.
No, I can keep going.
Take the one that's laying on the floor.
Wait! This environment is likely being influenced by the delusion. Any discomfort, no matter how slight, should not be treated lightly.
Only people with vision will be okay, I think.
I know how to relieve your symptoms, Mr. Ooze. Please come with me and rest.
Thank God, at least Kole is safe.
I'm sure Kyria... No, Edgar wouldn't want any more innocent people implicated in all this.
Kale's right. The Traveler and I will take things from here.
We will?
From our brief exposure to Auguste, it would seem the substance has little effect on us. This leads me to believe those blessed with a vision or capable of wielding elemental power are more resistant to the effects of abnormal elemental energy. In other words, this environment doesn't pose as much of a risk to us.
I know I'm popular and everything, but how do you know I can wield elemental power? Because I never show at all.
Actually, now that I think about it, this stronghold likely has multiple points of entry. If the target were to escape from a different point of entry, that might allow him to evade capture. I hate to trouble you, but we need people to survey the perimeter.
Buddy, wake up.
Thanks.
I love the eyes like, bro, do it.
Hear that? We're heading out. There's work to be done. Ooze, head back to Port Ormos and start gathering reinforcements.
Emilie's pretty smart. Emily say all of those only to make this bro get out of here.
Got it.
Traveler, Emilie, Paimon, please be careful. For someone whose only purpose in life is revenge, there's no telling what they'll do when there's no reason to move forward.
Yeah, say the one that tried to burn Fenty's statue.
Don't worry. This isn't the end. Not for us or for Kyria. We're not going to let Auguste kill anyone else. It's time for the mythos to fade into obscurity.
The... what? Hey, we got Emily! Oh my god, that actually look very fancy. Dang! Alright, we got Emily over here. Whoever that pulled for Emily, hope you have an amazing luck. I actually haven't done the trial yet. Should probably do it. And my enemy is just a mushroom.
Perhaps they were attracted here by the increased level of elemental energy.
Yes, that's indeed what happened.
Settle down.
Not really why did you say that, but that's actually the case. Oh.
I've never seen these seeds before. They must also have been created with the power of a delusion. It seems to be avoiding us, and there's no other way forward. Perhaps we could try luring it to the edge of the cliff.
At least we don't try to push somebody. Oh, okay. This part is so weird. Go there. Go there.
Reconstitute!
Yeah, reconstitute. What now? What? I actually thought that was a chest for a sec. That is a chest. Well, I'm talking about the floor previously. But there is no chest. Oh. Wow. Back in Arnara. Yeah, with that being said, where's Arnara here?
Whoa, look at all the Auguste flowers!
Paimon, you never seen one. How did you know this is one?
There are so many of them. I can't believe a single person did all this. Must have taken a lot of time.
As of that, Auguste, I think there are a lot.
I fear that statement is truer than you know, Paimon. Using a delusion comes at a cost. Not just time, but the time you have left to live.
Yeah, we know.
But why would Kyria need this many Auguste flowers? He only needed a few bottles of Auguste to carry out his plan, right?
Maybe because the goose flower is the flower that, I don't know, sister love.
Perhaps hatred wasn't the only emotion fueling his obsession with Auguste.
Longing? What do you mean?
Not long ago, he told me he didn't want all the flowers transported to Sumeru to wither away in a foreign land. But Kyria betrayed Snezhnaya, abandoned Fontaine, and lived his entire life in Sumeru under the guise of someone else. For someone with nowhere to call home, perhaps dying among a bed of Auguste flowers just like his sister is the best homecoming he could ask for.
I saw a chest in the middle of those conversations. I'll prioritize grabbing the chest. At least I did not say that while we're talking to a girl character. Because saying that will be very dangerous. But there are two ways. What's the point going this way? Maybe we'll have to come back later. Who knows? What's here? Exactly nothing. Okay. Don't really see anything. I hope I didn't miss any chests. Try to do this fast, cause it's not really a place where what you call the path branch. So it's kinda easier to do all of this. So it's funny how I don't really know how to play Emily. Can I skip the part on playing?
The wind knows me.
Bird.
Everybody stand back!
As one with wind
Oh, but
and
I
cloud.
meant to do this.
This'll brighten up the place. Neutralize.
It will? I feel like me using a power character to burn this entire place actually brighten the place more. Where's the flower? You look like onion. Onion. Go that way. Oh god, like this is a bit more troublesome than it's supposed to be. I love how it keep moving rather than moving per like sometimes. Oh my god. This entire area is a goose.
A plant that destroys seeds. Huh. Quite the ecological marvel.
That's nice.
Let's head back to the place where the seeds first appeared.
I have to avoid that now. Really? Oh my, this is fun. I enjoy this, not really. How do I do that exactly? Do I have to come like from this way? Because it kind of walked on its own. Perhaps I should do something to that. No?
Into the wind.
What do I do? Not gonna lie, I've been trying this for a while. Does that work? I have no idea. If it worked, it worked. I thought it's gonna fail there, but if it worked, it worked. That part is so weird. Don't really know how does it work. I wanna guess it's based on where a character looking at, but it
The
also
scent of
doesn't.
flowers is getting stronger.
Just
We're
like that?
almost at the end.
We are. Thank goodness it took 2 hours. Oh, you look very pale.
The scent of flowers is getting stronger. We're almost at the end.
Thank you for the repetition.
Did they catch up that fast?
Yes, old man.
No, my strength is just waning.
Dang, there you go. That's delusion there. Good night.
But it doesn't matter. This is far enough.
That must taste good, huh?
This is a garden of Auguste flowers. But it's not mine. It's the one that was set on fire all those years ago in Fontaine. Yelena? Yelena! You tried to hide it from me, but I always understood. The reason why you continued to use the delusion, the reason why you set your garden on fire, it was all because of me. I shouldn't have listened to you that day. I shouldn't have taken the Mora and ran. But by the time I realized something wasn't right, there was nothing left. The flowers were gone. And so were you. I know I'm almost 20 years too late. I should have come looking for you earlier. I should have died with you that day. Yelena? Yelena! No! Don't leave me! Please!
That's how that man becomes single forever. Will I speak at this time? It's only black screen. Cutscene?
Yelena!
I'm supposed to press space. You're supposed to click, the dialogue is still going. Yo, what up?
Emily?
No, family.
I'm alive.
Not really.
No.
Welcome to
It's
heaven.
not possible. I saw her. Yelena. We were together.
That was an illusion, likely brought about by the residual toxin in your body coupled with the pollen in the air, neither of which are fatal.
No. The amount of Auguste I drank, it should have been enough.
Well, that was fake. Because Emily already figured it out and Emily changed it.
Fake? But how?
Well, at least you can say you are drinking a perfume.
We started making the preparations last night with one goal in mind, to create a perfect accord. The accord is the basis of perfume making,
the product in its most primitive form. Ambergris mixed with cedar wood, rounded out with a base note of agar wood.
This is the scent of leather?
Exactly. We're unable to extract essential oils from leather, but by combining other raw materials, we can recreate its essence. That is the purpose of an accord.
Does that mean you can recreate any scent in the whole world?
I'm afraid not. Certain fragrances in this world are simply one of a kind. That quality is what draws people in and fuels their obsessions.
If I wear Auguste to the ball, I'll also be one of a kind.
Our competitor already got their hands on it.
It doesn't matter how much it costs. I have to buy something better.
This fragrance will be one of a kind, no more. Myths can be deconstructed, miracles can be recreated. All it takes is skill, experience, limitless exploration, and a little patience. The only thing left is determining where the real Auguste is hidden. Pretending to be attacked means he's not free to move around. Auguste must be hidden within reach.
Paimon took a peek through the window earlier and his house was packed with flowers.
The curator commissioned a flower pot from xRicWarx capable of retaining heat and moisture.
Perfumes are as beautiful as flowers, and equally as delicate. When stored, you must take care to control the temperature and keep them away from direct sunlight. Did you get all that, Emily?
I got it.
So, Sylvain is dead. Is that right?
Yes, Master.
So, you switched the bottles of Auguste, and then lied to me about Sylvain's death.
Dang, that's kind of like calm music. I like it a lot. Very interesting.
Convincing you that your revenge had been completed was the easiest way to get you to let down your guard.
And sadly, I already figured all of those out, so it's not really surprising.
Impossible. Even if you found a way to switch out the bottles, there's no way you could have made an accord.
She is your apprentice.
If Auguste was so easy to replicate, Yelena wouldn't have.
It was a combination of rainbow roses, glaze lilies, and Cecilias. Those ingredients would have conflicted with each other if you tried to combine them in the past. But recently, we found a way for them to work together.
Yep. And we found a way to make them shake hands.
Rainbow roses, glaze lilies, and Cecilias.
Auguste was created over 10 years ago. All this time, people never stopped analyzing it, never stopped trying to recreate it. Perfumery techniques are advancing day by day. We found better ways to extract essential oils, separate oils and fats. We even discovered new ways to combine fragrances together. The mythos surrounding Auguste may have been untouchable almost 20 years ago, but now it's time for it to become a thing of the past.
Dang, it's just saying that AI is taking control.
The past.
The past.
You've been working as a perfumer for all these years. You should have always known that it is possible to make an accord, even if only in theory. But the meaning you assigned to Auguste became so inflated, you allowed yourself to get lost in it, just like the perfume mania that captivated the public all those years ago. You believed in its divinity and grandeur. You believed it was entirely one of a kind.
And in the process, you forgot. It is what a bottle of perfume, nothing more.
Your obsession with Auguste is also what allowed us to predict how you intended your plan to end, and to make preparations in advance.
We just didn't expect it to happen so fast.
Or that you will activate the delusion. I know it's funny. What part of this is funny?
Well, you hit the nail on the head now, didn't you?
Nope, I'm hitting the nail on the coffin. Good night, Grandpa.
So, Sylvain isn't dead. Since you've been preparing your accord since last night, I assume you've also figured out my method, then.
Sadly, Sylvain is dead.
That means the news of Sylvain's death. The crowd gathered outside the hotel this morning. It was all an act you put on with the sheriff?
Yes. If we hadn't, you might have resorted to the delusion out of desperation, or continued to use your Spirit Borneal and Auguste combination to wreak havoc.
May I really hope that man is... Never mind. Never mind. Paddle back.
Who knows? Maybe I would have just offed myself then and there.
I know if you had things your way, you would carry the truth of Edgar's demise and the secrets of this garden to the grave, but I'm sorry, Master. I don't want to see any more death. Sylvain only inhaled a small amount of poison. He's being detained as we speak. All the crimes he concealed back then will be exposed in a court of law for everyone to see, and all his secrets will be revealed. The same goes for you as well.
Is that so? Well, I suppose I'll be spending the rest of my days in a prison cell then.
Whoa, he accepted that kind of fast.
He already accepted since the start.
I don't feel the need to justify my actions, nor do I intend to repent for them. I did what I set out to do. I may have lost in the end, but it was my choice every step of the way. And if I could do it all over again...
You will do it again. Right, we get it, Grandpa.
But there's no going back, is there?
There's actually is. Remember the tree? Remember Nahida? Remember that part? Remember Scaramouche? Yeah.
Careful, everyone. This environment is dangerous. I'll lead the way.
Stick close and hurry up. We can't let Edgar die.
Looks like I'm almost out of time. Although, I do have one final question, Emily.
Take care of the flower.
Of course, Master.
The combination you used to make your accord. How did you figure it out?
Using her IQ that you don't have.
The scent of Auguste is complex and varied, yet the main ingredient consists of a single variety of flower.
Or that, yeah, that works as well.
So, as I was analyzing the sample yesterday, I got to thinking, what if the scent of the Auguste flower was already imbued with that complexity during its cultivation?
You're saying Yelena designed Auguste to have the scent of multiple flowers?
Maybe?
Rainbow roses, glaze lilies, Cecilias. The perfumers of the past knew that if you combine their essential oils directly, they would just cancel each other out. It was a conundrum they could never solve.
Man, and this is why it's always a problem to make them into a family.
But if you cultivate a new flower species that intrinsically carries the unique features of those three scents, you can bypass that issue entirely. It goes without saying that for that time, this idea was a stroke of genius.
Rainbow roses, glaze lilies, and Cecilias.
You repeated 3 times already.
Those really do seem like flowers you would choose.
You're talking to Yelena?
Yelena.
Yep. Yelena, go! Wait, what? Not long after that, the Aramites rush over. Hero accepts his fate without saying a word. And I got my chest! What chest? Vrina! Not very nice chest. Vrina opened the chest, that's what I mean to say. And now let's get out of here before I say more wrong stuff. And thus, all the turmoil caused by Auguste finally come to an end. A goose is a flower, not a goose. A few weeks later, you receive a letter from Emilie inviting you to catch up in Fontaine. Fun fact, I did just get a mail a moment ago. It's Shiori's. Anyway, there you go. Luckily, it's not Emilie's mail, but I heard you are planning to set off to Natlan. Let's find a quiet restaurant and have a chat.
Tea parties are a
Oh my
must
god,
for the well
Emilie and Shiori is the same
If you'd
person.
like to learn the proper etiquette,
That's what
I'd
we
be
are
happy
learning.
to teach you.
Thank you, Frina. I'll love to get taught by you.
Did you know? Miss Emily's releasing a new perfume. Right, I heard about that. I think it's called Yelena.
Oh, dang. Oh, dang.
Seems like everyone in Fontaine is talking about the new perfume you're releasing.
Yep, it's made out of Edgar's blood.
I was hoping to release it without such a fuss, but the news spread way faster than I expected.
It happened.
I just hope it won't become the source of some new myth, especially after all the work we did to demystify Auguste.
About his perfume, did you use the cord from back in Sumeru?
I did, although I made a few modifications to the formula to make the scent more pleasant and long-lasting. I actually brought a few samples with me today. I hope they're to your liking.
I hope you're not trying to poison me. Also, one more thing, I forgot we're on Fontaine. Why did I follow you home?
Also, I was hoping you could try out the fragrance before I officially release it and tell me your thoughts.
Sure. Not like I can actually tell it, but sure.
Of course! A good sense of taste and sense of smell go hand in hand, you know? Just leave it to Paimon!
Sure, I forgot. Recently, Paimon have introduced us, or tell us that Paimon love to something about beauty. Hey, Paimon.
Oh, it smells great!
I'm not sure that's the kind of feedback she had in mind.
It's alright. All feedback is worth considering.
Except Paimon is, I feel like.
Besides, when it comes to perfume, commenting on whether it smells good is the most straightforward assessment you can ask for. There doesn't always have to be a deeper meaning.
Speaking of deeper meaning, Kira's final question.
Right! Do those flowers have some special meaning? Hearing their names seemed to have an effect on him.
If I had to guess, I'd say it probably has something to do with the language of flowers.
Ah, that type.
The language of flowers?
Yes.
Oh, we've heard of that before. Paimon remembers hearing something like, The Cecilia represents the true feelings of the prodigal son?
What each flower is said to represent varies by person and across different moments in history.
It's
The
like what you
same is true for
define.
the flowers that make up the scent of Auguste.
Assassination, like what you define that flower as, like what you look that flower as. But if you are going by the book, then there's only one.
After returning to Fontaine, I did some research, and it turns out the meanings of those 3 flowers can be reassembled to form a single phrase.
A goose.
Forget the past and keep on living.
Are you gonna end the story like that?
Perhaps that's
No.
the legacy Yelena always intended, not the nobility and grandeur most people associate with Auguste.
Or maybe that is what she hoped for her brother instead.
You think Kiria knew about that?
Probably not. He does not look smart enough.
I paid him a visit before his trial and explained what I found, but he didn't seem to care. Who knows? Maybe she didn't mean anything by it at all. That was his response. Yelena is gone. We'll never know what she was thinking. We can look for meaning all we want, but it'll never be anything but conjecture.
I love how there's nobody in this opera house.
Even if that is what she was trying to say, I would never be able to forget her. Avenging her death? That was the meaning I chose for my life. Kiria cultivated his revenge like a flower. He was committed to making it bloom, even if in the end, it didn't bear the fruit he was hoping for.
Kiria.
In any case, he did want me to pass along his thanks.
For?
Thank you for saving my life. For giving me the chance to learn that Auguste could have carried a very different meaning.
Sadly, using too much delusion equals you are gonna go to... I want to call Jesus, but he probably gonna meet the other one instead.
Love and hatred are a privilege of the living.
Indeed.
When someone dies, their thoughts, feelings, and intentions die with them.
Exactly.
In that sense, what Auguste truly represents in the language of flowers will forever remain a mystery. But even if it's only a conjecture, I would like to believe my own interpretation.
Rather than believe, how about create your own interpretation?
The meaning we give to flowers, the symbolism we assign to our perfumes, they're constantly twisted and exploited in our imperfect world.
By human.
And yet, at the very outset, they're born from the simplest and most beautiful desires we hold in our heart.
I don't really use perfume, so... Really? That's crazy. With that, the story ends. Pomum De Ambra Chapter Act 1, Floral Depth, Blood Dew is done. One blood have been spilled, the rest have been saved. We also got Yelena's sample. Sample of the perfume. What does it do? What does that do exactly? Oh my god, Frina smell. I'm smelling Frina now. What is the Chronicle Fontaine? Forget the past, keep on living. Yes, Frina, forget the past and keep on living with me. Hey, with that being said, subscribe and like button. There you go. That's the story quest for Emily. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And as always, have a nice day, have a nice night. Pomum De Ambra chapter is done, and I'll be seeing all of you guys on the next video. Have a nice day or nice night. Goodbye.
Time to shine!